Please stand for the opening prayer and pledge.
Father in heaven, bless us as we gather today for this meeting. Guide our minds and hearts so that we will work for the good of our community. Teach us to be generous in our outlook, courageous in the face of difficulty, and wise in our decisions. Thy will be done. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hancock County Commission will come to order this 27th day of March 2017 at 9 a.m. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out early this morning. We have a full crowd even though it's 9 a.m. We'll get started here. Approval of the commission meeting minutes for March 13, 2017.
Move to approve.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Correspondence. Correspondence from James Davis, Jr., Prosecuting Attorney, Hancock County. Sent a letter to the Health Department in response to a letter that we've received from Jackie Huff, who's the administrator.
Move to make a matter of record the letter from Prosecuting Attorney's Office.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Dennis Jones, President and Executive Director of the Weirton Area Museum and Cultural Center, requesting financial support in the amount of $7,000 to assist with the operating and maintenance cost.
Move to make a matter of record.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion approved. Under table items, approval of the order relating to Hancock County Health Department and Clean Air Act regulation.
Move to remain on the table.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Under new business, approval of the general county budget for fiscal year 2017-18. Karen? So, Karen, I'll ask you to give a brief explanation. If there's any questions?
We have a budget of $9,882,963. Last year, we were about 9.6 when we started the year. If you look at the report, it shows that we're at $11 million, which is actually a little inflated. It looks higher than it really is because General County was funding the 911 center's salaries last year because of the deficit there, and that money is now being paid back to the General County. So that's why it looks like our current budget is $11 million.
And to elaborate on that a little more, the reason that the county was funding the 911 center is because of the, we were only receiving $2.05 for every landline. And after we had the increase to $4.10 and generating additional revenue, we were able to pay that back and try to get on some track.
Yes, sir.
Still a little bit more to be paid back.
Yes, there is.
So we haven't the max yet.
We're not done yet.
Right. It's not completely done, but it's better.
That money didn't start coming in until July 1, basically the same fiscal year.
Correct.
We have a couple more months to catch up.
Right. Yes, sir.
And we will.
Yes.
Anything else you wanted to elaborate on that sticks out?
Yeah, I mean, if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them. But
Overall, the county's in good shape. We're pretty fortunate that we've been able to maintain, and I would like to applaud our county officials because each one of them does a very good job at staying within their budget, and it helps us out not only for the year that we're working, but going forward the following year. And I think it's critical. I mean, we can look and read all the articles in the paper and see where folks have a lot of issues, and a lot of times these issues are brought up because of folks not working together. And it's been a nice year, and going forward it looks like we're going to be pretty good in 2017-18. So I'd like to commend all the folks and my fellow commissioners for working together to keep this place in good shape. Karen, thank you for your efforts as well. Gentlemen, do you have any other questions? Comments?
I'll make a motion to approve the budget as presented.
No other discussion? All in favor of the motion? I'm sorry.
That budget can still be revised, or it actually gets revised during the course of the year, but we still
It'll-
make a revision prior to June 30th.
This won't change by June
This won't change by
30th.
June 30th.
But a revision is due mid-July.
Mid-July. Okay. I knew that was a
Yeah.
revision. I just said, I thought it was mid-June. It's mid-July. I'm sorry. So, and I want to commend Karen for keeping involved, Mr. Vitus for keeping a close eye on it also.
We have a motion before us to approve the budget as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of the grass cutting bids for 2017. Gentlemen, in our packet, we have 5 bids. Quite a few companies who submitted bids for this year, and I'll accept the motion to approve those.
Move to approve.
Discussion?
Yeah, it was an interesting bid because about 2 years ago, I believe, we had to rebid this for failure to receive bids. And I happened to have been in here, walked in here the day they were reviewing these, and they were getting 5 and 6 bids for each job. So it was totally like a 2-year swing is big. And it's going to be safe to say, none of these people worked last year for us or cut. So it'll be interesting to see the job that they do. And I think Commissioner Davis 2 years ago was a little disappointed with the group for fair to keep the cemeteries neat, because when people go in there for a funeral, it was like the grass was high and everything. And Mr. Vitus took care of that in his pre-bid meetings, that the grass needed to be maintained. So I'm glad to see there's people out there, and we're good.
I'll go ahead, gentlemen, and read for packet 1. It's that's located out on Gas Valley, Senior Center, the Animal Shelter, and the storage building, which is adjacent to the Park and Recreation building. That went to J&M Signature Landscaping, and that price was $4,875. Packet 2, which are the 3 cemeteries in New Manchester, Flats, Union, and the Methodist, went to Lonnie Lake, $6,400. Packet 3, Three Springs Cemetery, Cove Valley Playground, and the area around the Peter Tart Furnace, J&M Signature, $6,300. Packet 4 is Laurel Park, the section of Clark Field around the playground, Lawrenceville Park, which is up on the hill out of Chester, and that was D&S Lawn Care for $5,187. And Packet 5, which is around the 911 Center, located up on Route 2 here, was D&S Lawn Care for $1,937. Do you have a motion on the floor to approve? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of a proclamation recognizing April 9th through the 15th as Telecommunications Work Week.
Move to approve.
Discussion?
Yeah, I have a question, Mr. Bob Vitus. We do these proclamations, and I think they're great. I think the only people that see it are us in the room. And I notice Paige sometimes does a nice job making them up. And if I have some picture frames at home, I bring one up. Can we hang this in the lobby of the courthouse? I can display it there the week that we do this.
We can do that, and after that, we'll put it up in 911 with the rest of them are. So we'll hang it in the courthouse for that week, and then move it up.
Right. And then when we do another one, we'll just slide it in the frame.
Okay.
Motion to approve?
Move to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 4, approval to purchase 2 zero-turn mowers for the Hancock County Parks and Recreation.
Move to approve.
Discussion? Would like to mention the funding of these 2 mowers comes from the hotel motel tax. It won't be coming out of general revenue. The mowers that Parks and Recreation has out there are, one is probably close to 15 years old, and the other one 12, and they're pretty much wore out. But 2 new diesel tractors.
Can we auction those off, bid those off? As used equipment? Do we?
Sure.
I'm not sure I've been here when we've done that. That's why I'm asking.
I'll comment on that if you don't mind. There was really not much value to these to try to trade them in, but periodically the park board will hire summer help, and not knowing how experienced summer help may be, and them not being familiar with the area, it may be better off to keep those and allow the younger help or the more inexperienced help use them until they get familiar with the area instead of tearing up.
That's fine. That's a good idea.
We would be lucky to get anything out of them, to be honest with you, but they do still run, so it might be worth keeping if you guys don't mind.
If they're in bad shape at the end of the year and we want to consider auctioning them off, we can do that. We can do that sealed bid or auction on the courthouse.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Dog warden requesting approval to classify Sarah Paris from part-time to full-time administrative assistant at the Hancock County Animal Shelter effective April 1st, 2017.
Move to approve.
Discussion?
And what we're doing here is Mrs. Parrish has been part of the new regime up there, and she was working part-time, and everything that's been going on in the side, we felt as many hours as she's spending there, put her at the front desk and she can maintain all our records. Nicole's bought a new tracking system. Actually, she's experiencing with the new tracking system for all the animals that she really wants to add to her system. And this position here would just be the person that fills in all that information. We have a person up there that's been doing med-tech work and trying to keep the computers, and Mrs. Parrish has been helping her. And when we first decided to put our staff up there for the shelter, one of the first things we said is we would like to have a front person that was there all the time. And we think that after 8 or 9 months, this is the person that would be the best choice to put at that front desk. So, pleasant personality, always smiling, willing to give tours, answer every question she can. And that's the reason this is being done. That's all I have. Am I talking too much there? It's early in the morning. Office still spinning.
It'll make Rick's trip worthwhile today. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Office of Technology and Communication requesting approval of the resignation of Lynn Collecta from the position of 911 Quality Control or Quality Coordinator effective March 31st, 2017.
Move to approve.
Discussion? I'd like to comment. Lynn has been with the county for quite a few years. Very, very hard worker. And I know that she certainly was not ready to retire, but due to her health issues, she's forced into it. And she's certainly going to be missed at the 911 center. And with that, gentlemen, I'd like to send her a card and acknowledge her for her years and dedication that she's put in. She's certainly going to be missed. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of exoneration orders.
Move to approve.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of general county bills.
As far as B, C, D, and E goes, because the way the meeting fell, there are no bills to approve today.
Gentlemen, the items that we have before us, B, C, D, and E, which is the general county bills, animal shelter levy fund bills, library levy, and the shelter workshop. No action that needs to be taken on those. Citizens' remarks. We have one today, Jackie Huff from the Hancock County Health Department.
I really don't have anything. I just put my name on there in case there was questions concerning anything with that.
Thank you for showing up. Okay. For the good of the order, Karen, anything else?
No.
Okay, very good. Mr. Vitus?
Just briefly, since you did approve the proclamation for the 911 dispatchers, just to give you some idea of why we had to go to increase the prices and everything else. In 2016, 28,502 incidents were created through our 911 center. That's about 3.25 per hour. For those incidents, 438,872 phone calls or radio calls were answered, which is about 50 an hour, which kind of gives you an idea why we need 3 dispatchers on a normal basis and why we had to increase the cost from $2.05 to $4.05 to pay for the coverage that the county actually gets from our dispatch center. And Lynn will be greatly missed. Just keep praying for her health. So, thank you.
Mr. Longi? Jeannie from the election office?
Nothing at this time, thank you.
Okay. Jackie, do you have anything from the health department?
I will say the PEIA insurance came out and they have new requirements for blood work, minimal blood work, measuring the circumference of your waist and things. There's a fine if you don't have it done towards your deductible, not really a fine. And we're offering that service to all the PEIA areas in the health department. The fee's $30.
Is there a deadline on that?
Yes.
Your letter would state, I don't have the letter.
In the May.
Yeah.
Sheriff?
So,
I'm sorry.
all our employees will have to
Yes.
have this done?
Your PEIA.
That's what diagnosed Lynn last year.
I know, I had that marked down. But, okay,
For the
they all
convenience,
got
they're
their
there.
letter.
We all, I'm sure everyone received the letter. It explains it in the PEIA packet.
So they can get you later.
And you have until the end of the sign-up period, so I think that's mid-May.
Which is
As part of that Healthy Tomorrows.
Thank you. Sheriff?
Nothing a whole lot other than they're working with the health department, getting some research done by them for some immunization that I was concerned about in regards to the officers. They've been very helpful and I'm grateful for that. Cooperation between the departments. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Foley?
Nothing this morning.
Commissioner Cowie?
Yes, there's a couple things I'd like to mention. First of all, I want to thank Lynn for all her services. We're going to miss her. Also, we've had a great loss down in Weirton. Donald Menser, that was want to send my condolences out to his family. Also, he was a police officer, mayor, involved with fire service, so he'll be missed down in Weirton. The other one is also want to thank all the men and women up here at the dispatchers for their proclamation for the service they do.
Thank you. Commissioner Barnaby?
A couple things. First one is Lynn, and we talk about getting a blood test and measurement of the waist and that. When the EIA put the physical in effect last year, Lynn went to take her physical, and that's when Lynn found out she had some issues. And I had never got to meet her before then. I had the unfortunate time to meet her was under her duress. It was very sad. I didn't know her personally. I only know her a little bit. What a great person. What a great person. Sad situation that this has to be like that. But it goes to show you what you can do. What maybe we can prevent by doing this work ahead of time. Mrs. Huff is willing to provide. As far as the budget goes, last year when we sat with the budget, we talked with our elected officials of tightening the belt. And I think they did an excellent job. I know we see Sheriff Fletcher a lot, and he's had some programs where generated funds that he's been able to save out of his budget. Mr. Alongi has done a great job with some of the larger businesses asking for tax discounts, and he's worked well in holding them off for as long as he can so that we didn't have to go take money out of a previous budget. I commend him for that. Mr. Foley, done a good job up there, and I got to say that Mr. Wright came in here and he made a big cut right off the bat, which was like totally shocking. So, not a big cut, but a major reduction he felt it wasn't needed in his department. So it's nice when we can all get along like that. And, you know, there's a mutual respect. We might sit in here and yik-yak at each other, but I think when the meetings are done, we're all shaking hands and move on forward. Our job is to serve the people, and I commend all of us for doing that. Okay.
I have nothing today. And in saying that, gentlemen, our next meeting is scheduled for April the 13th. If there's no further business to come before the commission, I'll accept the motion that we adjourn.
So moved.
We are adjourned. Thank you.